you know, I don't want to be too bold on Maine, but if I've been...
Pause. I'm Desanya Wet, artist, singist, gamist, and most evilest bimbo. And on this channel, I do something a little different. I draw and talk and play my most favorite video game, Minecraft, all at the same time. And if you really like what you see, make sure to hit that like and subscribe and press all those good buttons that'll make me happy. Thank you.
Alright everybody, welcome back to one Skyblock chicken Minecraft madness. Here we go. Last episode we got this iron chicken. So that's what the goal was, and then we did it. Alright, so this episode is gonna be to get the next evolution of chicken, which as usual, leave your guess in the comments of what you think the next evolution of chicken will be. I think you've got enough, if you've been watching the whole series, you have enough context to know what the next evolution is probably gonna be. If I had to guess, you know, I don't want to spoil it, but I think it's gonna be diamond. But anyway, the goal of this episode, as it is for every episode before, and as it will be for every episode in the future, is gonna be to get the next evolution of chicken. Which means that I gotta breed this guy with another guy with using 2 iron blocks. Not iron bars, not iron ore, iron blocks. So that's fun. But also for this episode, I want to also do something else as well. So I think what I want to do is I want to get nests. And I want to start putting the nests up there. So now that we have the iron chicken, that is something that we hypothetically could do. So that's what the goal of this episode is going to be, is to get the next chicken, which I highly suspect will be the diamond chicken, to get that guy, and then also to build nests and start sorting the chickens out with the nests. So I guess we should go ahead and expand the platform. Although let's grow this guy up a little bit. Let's grow him, and then hopefully he'll grow up and he'll start laying eggs and stuff soon. Because that platform, I have the sneaky suspicion I'm gonna need to do some math, is what I'm having the sneaky suspicion about. Yeah, see, look, okay, he's grown up, so he's gonna start laying stuff now. I want to put him right here. That's okay, perfect. I want you close to the edge. Don't push him because he's close to the edge. He's trying not to lose his head. Okay, so I'm gonna spam these eggs anyway, because I know that it's gonna end up being a thing. God, I don't even know how many I'm gonna need, is the thing. I have no clue how many even nests and stuff I'm gonna need. I should probably start mapping it out. Oh, that was a lot of emerald chickens in a row. So. Okay, so I made the platform this big. Let me go get my more slabs and see. Do I have my more slabs? Do I have more? I have a lot of trapdoors. I was gonna turn these blocks into charcoal, but I think maybe they would be better served. I don't know what to do. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just make these put this, and we'll put that, and then we'll just keep making. Awesome. Because I have a tree farm. It's not that big of a deal. If I need more wood, I can get it. It's not the end of the world. Now I want slabs. I don't know how many slabs I want. I feel like that's probably gonna be overkill. No, it's probably not actually. Okay, all right, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm gonna use the cobblestone as the nest indicator. Okay, so this is definitely the edge. Oh, brother. So I might even also leave the chicken pit just for fun. Because maybe it's like not the most efficient thing, but it is the most fun way to do it. And ultimately it might be retired, but that's fine. So my thought process is I would like a row of each chicken type. They're all gonna funnel into the same chests anyway, because I don't know how to do like an automated storage system. So how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. I think 9 might be sufficient, but I could go further. Let's do 12. That's a healthy number. And then it's gonna be 12 of each chicken. And I don't know how many chicken types there are. So we have vanilla chickens, which hypothetically don't even super need their own row, but I'll give them one. Dirt, wood, bone meal, sand, cobblestone, ice, gold, emerald, villager. Let's just call it 20 rows and see if that's sufficient. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And so directly beneath this is gonna be hoppers. A hopper system, if you will. So it's gonna be 10 by 12. And I want torches. This is making me nervous. Look at this. He's grown up now. He's not laid anything yet, so we're just waiting for that to happen. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and carve this stuff all out since I know I know what I came here to do today. You guys watch TCAP, To Catch a Predator? It's one of my guiltiest pleasures. Not even a guilty pleasure. It's just so satisfying. I love justice stuff like that where people get caught instantly. I don't know why. It just brings me so much joy. Maybe it's because I've been exposed personally to so much injustice in my life that it just, when I see somebody getting their comeuppance, it just brings me joy. I'm a little bit of a TCAP fanatic. The most interesting thing to me, and this is another one of those misinfree things, so if you don't want to hear that, then just turn off your ears. But keep watching my video because you love it. Honestly, why else would you be here if you didn't love it? But anyway, as I was saying, that a lot of these guys, they really are first-time offenders. A lot of them have no history of anything like this. But the thing was, when the psychiatrist or whoever gets down with them and asks them, like, what made you do this knowing it was wrong? They were like, well, I mean, it was a female giving me attention. Like, I was willing to overlook everything else for the attention I was getting. And it's a little bit like it's a statement on like how gender norms and roles in society in general kind of harm men as well, which is why I am a bit of a misandrist, because like the patriarchy is harming men too. Like if it wasn't for like women being the only thing allowed to be objectified, you would see a lot more guys out here being catcalled and stuff. I think the playing field would be much more even if there wasn't this societal impetus on women to, you know, abstain. And I think that when you have patriarchy like this, the men are really shooting themselves in the feet. And they don't understand that that's what they're doing. Like how when you're like, oh, you know, well, women hate men so much, but where would we be in the world without men? Like who's gonna work on the oil rigs? And I posit, here's my theory that I've gone with for a while now. If every single man on Earth disappeared tomorrow, be it some kind of rapture, alien situation, I don't care. You can imagine that on your own time. But if every man on Earth were to disappear tomorrow, we would switch to renewable energy overnight. Like, if it wasn't a reason to fight a war, if it wasn't for oil, we wouldn't fight wars. Like, women, I mean, culturally, yeah, but I think women understand that a rising tide lifts all boats, generally. Like, yeah, obviously, not all women, whatever, but generally, I think that women will be like, why are we doing this dangerous offshore drilling work when we have windmills right there, that we have cranes that we can set them up? Like, you don't have to invest all this manual labor and risk your life for an outdated energy source. Like, this is something that we could have taken care of a while ago. Like, we have nuclear. Nuclear doesn't require heavy lifting, as far as I know. Like, wind, solar, I can set up solar. I set up solar on an RV one time. Like, it's really not... And they're like, oh, well, who would work on the oil rigs? Nobody, because the oil rigs would be marked as obsolete. Nobody likes oil rigs, not even the men who work on them. And it's like, when you say stuff like that, like, oh, who would work on the oil rigs? Who would do this? Who would do that? It's like, have you not thought that there's a way that this could be innovated that's being withheld? Because it's easier and cheaper to exploit you and your labor and your health than to transition, because it's easier and cheaper to continue on with the status quo that's killing people than it is to switch to something better for fear of losing out on some percentage of some market share somewhere. I don't know, like, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but for me, I think we could move away from a lot of these industries where it has to be male dominated because there is so much physicality involved. Like, we could have switched from fossil fuels 100 years ago, but we chose not to. Now, why was that? Who was in power making those decisions? You know, think about it. Who was in power every time the decision was made to go to war? You know, it's those kind of thoughts that I wish more of these MGTOW, incel, 4G types would have, instead of it being like their knee-jerk reaction to any kind of perceived criticism because they have rejection-sensitive dysphoria or whatever. Instead of having these knee-jerk reactions to things, like, critically sit down and think, why are things the way that they are? And would moving away from these things, even though they would decenter men from the situation and make everything more egalitarian, would it be better? Like, why are we sending men out to these oil rigs for 6 months at a time to themselves, you know? Like, I don't think anybody should have to sacrifice their body for $1. I just don't think that should be the way that it is. I think people should do jobs that they love. And I know that's not always going to be the way that it can be, because, you know, there's some stuff that just needs to get done. Like, dirty jobs There's always going to be stuff that just needs to get done whether or not. But then those should pay proportionally to how awful they are to do, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just a crazy liberal or whatever the saying is now. But what do I know? I'm just a cartoon girl on the internet. I'm just a cartoon alien girl on the internet who just yaps for hours at a time about misandry and how much I hate society and just want to live on a beach and starve to death because I personally don't have survival skills. Other women I'm sure could do it, but not me. Of course, I barely want to be here anyway. Oh, I should breed these guys while I'm here. No, not interested. Why? Oh, because you have to throw it at them. They don't want to take it from your hand for some reason. Oh my god. And they probably won't even take it because there's no beds, I'm realizing. So I may exclusively need to breed the villager chickens for this to be happening. No! You rube. You absolute fool. How did they both get out? No. No, please. Why? Why? Oh, I'm gonna have to make a boat. I'm gonna have to make a boat. How? I was just not paying attention for 2 seconds. This guy's over here bone mealing stuff, stressing me out. Get in this boat. Thank you. Oh my f***ing god. I left this gate open like an idiot. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You need to go in here. Annoying. What are you doing? Incorrect. Oh, he's not. He's not coming back, is he? This is the worst. This is the worst. No, please, God, no. I'm gonna have to break my composter. He's not gonna leave it alone. He's not gonna leave my compost. Go. Go away. Go away. If I give you a job, will you stay over there? Like, stressing me out. And for what? And for what? Okay, well, great. Go in. Go in. Go in. I will hit you. Go in. God, this is what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway. You know, while we wrap up this episode, I need to tell you guys about something that's been on my For You page, and I don't know if y'all been seeing this. So, Lars grew up with what I believe to be a narcissistic mother. She has all the tells. She has the hallmarks with what a narcissist would do. So I think she has a narcissistic mother and kind of a passive enabler father, which typically is, you know, what you see in these relationships. You never typically have two narcissistic parents. It's always one narcissistic parent. Anyway, I digress. So Lars's parents are boomers, and they live in a house that they bought less than 30 years ago because the thing ain't paid off, or maybe they remortgaged it at some point because they owe money on it. So, growing up, Lars, you know, had it rough because of, you know, a lot of different things, but her parents certainly didn't make it easy. And she ended up as coming out as gay, and her mother couldn't tolerate that. It drove her up a wall, and she said all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure that Lars got kicked out at 18, if I'm recalling correctly. And so they go some kind of low contact. It wasn't a thing back then, but they go some kind of low contact unofficially. And through the grapevine, Lars is hearing about, like, oh, your mother paid $30,000 for your cousin's wedding, you know, and your mother's not going to do this for you because if you ever married a woman, your mother wouldn't support it, this, that, and the other. And so now it's, you know, Lars is an adult. Lars is married to a woman or in a serious relationship with a woman and has been for a long time. And, I mean, her parents know about it. Like, they've known about it. They never supported it. They've always talked shit, you know, about her and her wife and how they're gay or whatever. Well, here's the kicker. So Lars's parents, or at least her mother, like to live outside of their means. They like to spend money. And so they get into so much debt, and they're getting $3,500 a month pension, and for whatever reason can no longer afford their mortgage. Now that blows it's not pension, it's Social Security. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of money that they get for being retired. It's $3,500. That's more than I make at my job. That's more than I make at my job, working. $3,500 a month. And so they can't pay their mortgage. If I had $3,500 a month, my mortgage would be paid and I have plenty left over. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But anyway, her parents has decided they can't afford to live in the house anymore, so they're gonna sell it. And every step of the way, her mother is like doing some shit. Like, she was like lying to her dad. And when Lars called them on the phone to talk about it and understand what was happening, her dad got off and they ended up having a shouting match where she broke down crying because her mother had lied to her about something fundamental about the process. And then also, they had agreed to only text within this group chat, but then mom started texting the wife, like triangulating, you know? And I'm just like, okay, immediately no. Immediately no. I would say, you know what? You're gonna do this shit, you're gonna have to figure your own self out. I don't give a whose mother you are. But I digress, you know? Lars, obviously, and I see this in my own father, Lars obviously loves her parents very much and believes that she's for some reason responsible in some part for her parents. And like, if anything happened to her parents, like, she would feel personally guilty, she would feel devastated. Personally, you know, I don't want to be too bold on Maine, but if I was gonna make it happen. Maybe we should cut this part out. So yeah, so she's like, she feels responsible for her parents' well-being, and she's like, okay, I'm renovating the downstairs of mine and my wife's house for them to come and live with me. I'm putting all this money into this remodel of basically my basement to make it into a mother-in-law suite so that they can have somewhere to come and live for free while they get the shit together. First of all, charge them rent. You know how much money they're making. If they sit there with $3,500 and nothing else to do with it except spend it, what do you think that they're gonna do? You need to make them responsible. Like, you think anybody else is gonna keep them up for free? After all the shit they did to you? Oh my god. Lars, you're f***ing me up, man. You're f***ing me up. It's been such, like, every day she makes new updates, like, oh yeah, my mom, you know, we got on the phone and it was a fight and I started crying. House. Or allegedly they're supposed to be selling everything in their house to raise money to fund paying off their credit cards and paying off the remainder of their mortgage. And mom is trying to argue, like, oh, well, why can't I bring all my fine china and all my hutches and my multiple dining room sets? Because you're living in a f***ing studio. Lars finally put her foot down. I don't know if it's gonna stick, but she said, you know what? Anything that don't fit on this truck, we ain't bringing it. And mom goes, well, why don't we just get a bigger truck? We'll pay the difference for the bigger truck. Lars says, no, you ain't getting no bigger truck because it ain't gonna fit in my house. It is not gonna fit in my house if you put anything else than that can fit on that truck. And then this is crazy too. Like, there was one video where Lars was like, oh yeah, my mom was just bragging the other day about how she got $400 for this table that she sold off OfferUp or whatever. She finally sold it and it sold for $400 and she was bragging about it. But then the next day she comes back to me and says, oh, can you guys Uber us some groceries? We don't have any money for groceries. And Lars is like, what happened to that $400 you got yesterday? What happened to that? Didn't you guys just get $400? And mom goes, oh, well, you know. And Lars is like, I mean, we're already struggling. Me and my wife are already struggling to get by as it is. And now we're going to have to pay for my parents' groceries all the time. And her parents are talking about they have to sell their cars for the move because they're moving across country. They have to sell their cars. And they're talking about buying Lexuses. And and Lars is like, I need them to buy a Honda or a Kia or something that can just ride, not a luxury vehicle. Like every other video, she's like, I don't think my parents understand that they're gonna have to have a significant lifestyle change in order to like do this. And I'm like, no, they probably don't, because they probably expect you to pay everything. They're gonna pay them credit cards off and run them right back up. It was so easy for the boomers to amass wealth. It was so easy. Like even my parents, Gen X, it would have been so easy for them to get just fabulously loaded. Like all either of them had to do was just go to school. You go to school, a cadre of f***ing dudes was assigned to you to you off for the rest of your life. I just don't know how people could fail back then. Like I'm trying to fight tooth and nail to get my shit together because I know it's not gonna get any easier from here. I know it's only gonna get harder. And that's a pretty terrifying thought. Cause like I'm seeing her parents being like, oh well, we have to sell our house, we can't afford to live on $3,500 a month. And I'm like, will I even get Social Security? Will I even be entitled to any money? Will I even be able to retire? Like I'm 30 and I'm not planning for retirement. I should be, yeah, but like I'm just not planning to retire. Anytime I start to get ahead, something comes out of the blue to knock me back down, and that's the way my life has been for the last 10, 15 years. And if I was born in the 70s or the 80s, like I just feel like I would have been able to do so much more. It's rough out here, man. It's rough. And I know I've got it better than a lot of other people. I understand that. But man, Jesus. You guys ready to fuck? Let's get it on. Let's get it going. Ooh, we got stuff on the ground. We got stuff on the ground over here. We got eggs. Let's throw these eggs on the ground. All right. Hell yeah. All right, so that's 3 iron we got so far. That's good. Let's do a sweep over here. Wow. I like it. Actually, the gold, I do want to throw the gold. I do want to throw this one. Saving these. All right, let's throw these eggs. Let's throw these eggs. Let's get this bread. Perfect. I have enough iron to make a bucket. A bucket will be crucial in the future. I don't know about right now. Okay, and then these guys, I want to keep breeding them. I want to keep them going. Let's see. I'll breed as much as I can, then the rest just get to eat. So they can grow up and get bread tomorrow. I'm just going to keep making bales because I'm going to need them for the nest at some point. I need to get 18 iron for the next evolution of chicken. And I also need to get 7 iron for a hopper. I don't know how much iron it is, but we're just gonna sit here and watch them again. Can you watch my chickens for me while I step away for a moment? You know, like those TikToks where they're like, oh, can you watch this for me while I step away? Guys, can I read you some really funny comments that I've got lately? So here's the thing, when I started YouTube, I didn't expect to get funny comments. I expected to get exclusively hate, and I was okay with that because I'm very thick-skinned, right? So it wasn't a deterrent for me. I really don't take anything personally, especially when it's from somebody anonymous on the internet about my cartoon character persona, right? Anyway, I've got some what I believe to be genuinely hilarious comments, right? So in one of my videos, this person posted cringe button, which I presume to mean this is the button, this is the comment you can like if you cringed, right? Maybe I misinterpreted that, but I said, petition to add a cringe button to YouTube that immediately deletes my account when somebody presses it. But then somebody came in and a little bit white-knighted and said, don't watch it then, we watch what we want. And I said, no, he's got a point. Valid. No, valid. If it makes you cringe, let me know, because it sparks a little bit of joy in my heart to know that I've impacted you in such a way. Okay, this person said, promosum. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's Russian. I said, yeah. This person says, in another reality, we're married. Oh, this was in the one where I had Bob the... Oh, this was in my other series. This is the one where I had Bob the villager and I was smacking him with an emerald in the face. And so I said, I'll wake you up every morning with an emerald to the forehead. Then somebody said, draw her giving birth, in regards to my character on the screen. And I said, I'll draw you pregnant if you're not careful. No, some of these are good. Like, look at this one. It says, I watched this video because I was ready to call you out for some weird furry Rule 34 type shit. Then you started talking, then I got hooked. Then I subbed. Like, the turnaround is insane. There's so many people, I've been getting those comments a lot lately that people are like, I have no clue what I'm watching, but I'm hooked. And I'm like, valid, bestie. I have no clue what I'm saying. But I'm still running my mouth. I'm still yapping, so obviously something's going right. This guy says, this woman is so deranged and evil, my amygdala turned Buddhist to gain inner peace. I'm out here turning people Buddhist with my insanity. Can you believe it? Some of these comments are just golden. Guys, keep them coming. I might do some more little comment readouts as they spark joy in the future. I don't know, we'll see. If you guys keep leaving iconic shit in my comments, maybe. But anyway, and look at this. It's a diamond chicken. Beautiful. But let's see if we can figure out how to build this nest, shall we? Let's build this nest, folks. I should have enough for a hopper. I don't know how to build a hopper. Hello? Is it a chest? Do I need a chest? Is that what a hopper is? I have a chest. Is it this? I super don't know how to make a hopper. Okay, slay. And then we've got this. That's not it. Okay, this is a little bit concerning now, because I don't know what I'm doing. And if I didn't need iron this whole time, that's gonna be really funny. Hold on, I'm gonna look up the recipe, like, officially. I looked it up last time, but I don't remember, obviously. Wait, what if I switch these? No, okay, let me look it up. I can't find my notes! I don't know! I can't find in my notes what this was. This sucks. I super thought that when I looked it was that. Oh, brother. I'm gonna have to get up and actually leave the room and look at the actual computer. Hold on, I'll be right back. I need to figure this out. Okay, chat, so here's the deal. After much exploring and much review, I'm gonna show you what the recipe should be, okay? And when I tested this mod, when I bought it, this recipe was working, right? This is what the recipe is supposed to be. And it's supposed to give me a nest here. But because this isn't working, here's what we're gonna do. Every time I need to craft a nest, I'm gonna /give it to myself. But here's the thing. I'm gonna throw away however much the resources was that it needs, right? So here we go. I'm gonna come up here, okay? I'm gonna throw away the 1 hopper, and it's 8 wheat, or 8 hay bales, right? And that's how much goes into the recipe, and I'm gonna /give myself the appropriate amount of nest, which is 1, okay? And don't be mad because it took like 30 minutes for me to, you know, I tried very hard. Okay, there we go. So now we have the nest, right? So now that's the end of the episode, okay? Don't even get mad at me because I can't help it that the mod broke before I even got to use it, okay? We were all trying very hard to do our best. And in everybody's defense, when I tested the mod, the recipe was working. So I don't know what happened in between then and now. So look, that's enough for a hopper. So a hopper looks like that. Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that, right? And then hypothetically, we're gonna have a system of hoppers that happen. But for now, it's just gonna be that one. And then we're gonna put a chicken on it. And who's gonna be the lucky chicken? Probably we're gonna start with one of these iron chickens. It's your lucky day, Mr. Chicken. Perfect. Okay, now he's stuck to the nest, see? He's in there. He's not moving. And anytime he lays something, it's gonna go in this nest. And that'll be, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed trying to figure out how to make a nest. And then failed anyway. Alright, like and subscribe. Bye!